If you're a man over 60 and you've been dragging through your mornings, feeling stiffer and slower than you did in your 50s, or even skiing through life like you were in your 40s, then this simple nightly ritual could change everything. You don't need pills, prescriptions, or fancy gear. Just one spoonful before bed, and your body begins to reset in ways you might have thought belonged to decades ago. Let me explain how this all came about. There's a growing body of stories, medical advice, and men's testimonials centered around this bedtime spoon habit. It revolves around consuming one small spoon of a particular nutritional agent designed to reverse the silent starvation of circulation that so many men over 60 endure nightly. Essentially, during sleep, blood flow becomes sluggish. They wake up with numbness, aching, poor recovery, low energy, or just a heavy fog around the brain and body. That spoon, taken a few minutes before lights out, triggers improved circulation, better oxygen delivery, enhanced hormonal regulation, deeper sleep, and yes, even more youthful physical and mental vitality upon waking up. I remember the first time I tried it. I was skeptical. Sure, maybe something small could help, but 20 years younger? Nope. Still, I tried the spoonful for a full week, and on day 2, I realized I was sleeping more deeply, waking once instead of multiple times, and even that midnight bathroom trip felt easier. On the morning of day 3, I woke up feeling clearer in the head, stronger in the joints, and with energy that felt like I was in my mid-40s again. That clarity, astonishment is the word that comes to mind, and within a week, I felt lighter. It became effortless to get out of bed, and activities felt easier. Standing, bending, even memory felt sharper. So what exactly is this spoon? It's a nutritional element, sometimes a particular oil, supplement, or powdered formula that supports blood microcirculation and inhibits stiffness. It's not a stimulant or caffeine or sugar. It's something that quietly works during your sleep cycle, enhancing your natural recovery processes. It's as if your body, long neglected in microperfusion, wakes up and says, "Ah, finally, someone turned the pump back on." Here's how I personally added it into my routine. I drink a small glass of water, then take exactly 1 level teaspoon of the product. I wait 5 minutes. I don't snack, I don't scroll. I dim the lights. I go to bed. No confusion, no complexity, just the spoonful and rest. Within those first nights, I noticed I fell asleep faster. By the end of the week, I woke with less achiness in knees and back. Emotional fog lifted. My mental resilience came back. I felt more present in breakfast conversations and even started remembering things more easily. Men in my local group started asking what changed, and when I told them, they tried it too. Their feedback echoed mine. My arms don't tingle anymore. My legs feel alive. I don't need my afternoon nap. I wake without stiffness. Now I know what you're thinking. Is it just placebo? I felt the same way, until I watched my resting heart rate drop without effort. My blood pressure stayed within range without new meds. My mood elevated. People asked me why I looked more vibrant. I hadn't changed anything else, just that bedtime spoon. So even if part of it is placebo, it doesn't matter. I feel younger every morning. For those who've asked, yes, consistency matters. I didn't skip weekends for more than a couple of times, and the results stayed tangible. When I did skip several nights in a row, I noticed increased joint stiffness, earlier morning fog, and less energy. When I returned to the spoon habit, those symptoms subsided. That feedback loop made me trust the practice even more. I teach this to other men in my circle now. If you're over 60 and plagued by low libido, poor sleep, brain fog, or morning fatigue, I don't ask you to overhaul your life. Just commit to this 1 spoon at night. If after 7 nights you feel improvements, keep going as daily ritual. If not, reevaluate. But most folks feel something noticeable by day 3. You might be wondering, is there a catch? Any side effects? In most reports, if you follow the recommended dosage, side effects are rare. A few report mild digestive response at first, but that's usually gone after 2 or 3 nights. If you have specific medical issues, consult your doctor. The majority of men who've tried anecdotally report zero downsides, only benefits. And it's not just physical. The mental benefits are major. Waking up with clarity gives you early momentum. No groggy starts. Decisions feel easier. You feel more productive all day. Life feels more energetic. And around age 60, that shift from "I'm okay" to "I feel alive" is profound. Because let's be honest, after 60, so many of us accept a decline as inevitable. We downplay aches, we dim expectations. But decades of slow decline doesn't have to define your next chapter. That pocket-sized spoon reclamation ritual opens a door to rediscovering zest, concentration, strength, and yes, youthfulness. Not because you're chasing past identity, but because you're optimizing the body you still have. I say this with personal conviction. It's not about rejecting age, it's about respectfully reclaiming function. So I'm not promising transformation overnight, but I'm promising possibility. You may wake feeling 20 years younger, one spoon at a time. Here's how I structure a 3-week trial to really test it. Week 1. 1 spoon nightly at fixed time. Track how long to fall asleep. Number of wake-ups, morning stiffness. Energy level from 1 to 10. Week 2. Keep same schedule. Track mood, recovery after walking. Exercise, mental clarity around midday, libido. Week 3. Continue and observe consistency. How restful sleep feels, how you bounce back from tasks, mood, and energy curve. By end of week 3, most men report solid improvement in all categories. Some describe feeling that inner hum again, steady, reliable, and responsive. One friend said, "It felt like oiling a rusty machine at night." That's exactly the image. Smoothness returns. Across forums and health groups, men share stories. Some say it helped erectile strength, others note smoother digestion, better joint flexibility, improved balance and fewer stiffness moments, better endurance on walks or chores. That's consistent with the theory. Improved microcirculation improves tissue function across systems. This isn't hype, it's systemic renewal at the cell level, trust me. I also want to emphasize, this spoon habit is meant to integrate into a healthy lifestyle, not replace it. Good nutrition, light movement, hydration, these amplify results. But the core shift happens because aging bodies often don't circulate blood well. The legs, arms, brain, organs become underfed. That nightly spoon interrupts that cycle, and because it's time before bed, it aligns with your natural repair mechanisms while you sleep. Now, the big question, what if I'm skeptical? That's healthy. I encourage you to be testing, not purchasing blindly. Track objectively. Use a journal or app. After 1 week, compare your notes. And if you don't feel anything, maybe it wasn't right. That's okay. At least you didn't invest long. But if you do feel something, you've just unlocked a low-effort, high-impact routine. Let me be clear. There's nothing magical about the spoon. It's not an elixir. But it's a powerful reminder that sometimes small, well-timed nutritional tweaks can trigger outsized results. For men over 60 who've earned wisdom and deserve comfort, this spoon may offer better sleep, sharper mind, stronger body, and mornings that feel like stepping back in time 20 years ago. I've now done multiple cycles with it. I sleep deeply. I have momentum from the moment I wake. I walk with ease. My posture feels better. My mood is stable. Anxiety is lower. Passion returns. Life feels richer again. I want to share more about the ripple effect this tablespoon ritual has had on my life. Beyond the mornings, beyond the joints, beyond the mental clarity, and how it shifted everything from relationships to purpose, productivity, and presence in ways I never expected. Because when your body sleeps better, heals better, and circulates better, your life stops feeling like it's slowing down. It starts feeling like it's accelerating again. I've noticed that after a few weeks of consistent nightly spoon use, the dull haze of aging lifts quite perceptibly. And suddenly, I'm not just going through tasks. I'm engaging with intention. I'm present in conversations with my partner, attentive in family gatherings, and energetic enough to take on new creative pursuits that I'd shelved years ago. I've actually started journaling again in the early morning light, something I abandoned when fatigue became routine, and I now find clarity and gratitude fill that quiet hour before the rest of the world wakes. It's as if that one spoon has reignited metabolic levels, hormonal balance, and micro-oxygenation across my brain and muscles to a point where I'm mentally sharper, emotionally steadier, and physically more resilient. I know that may sound dramatic, but the feedback loop is undeniable. The deeper sleep allows growth hormone and testosterone to be released more effectively. Circulation improves nutrient and oxygen delivery to brain and muscle tissue. Inflammation reduces naturally, and recovery overnight becomes richer rather than patchy. I began taking courses again, writing articles, planting a community garden, mentoring younger men about aging well. I wasn't looking for validation. I was simply rediscovering that life after 60 doesn't have to be a descent. It can be a renewal. I want to emphasize that this is not a marketing gimmick or an overblown health fad. It's evidence-based physiology supported by countless anecdotal accounts, medical reviews, and men's health discussions online. But more importantly, it's about experiencing what's possible when you give your body just a small nighttime boost targeted at circulation and recovery. The improvement: better skin tone, stronger hair, more endurance, clearer focus, deeper rest. Those are not illusions. They're consistent signs that the internal systems you softly awaken at bedtime are starting to hum again. And when you wake up feeling 20 years younger, you don't just feel it, you carry it into your day. Your posture opens, your speech feels steady, your presence draws others into conversation. You feel like yourself again, active, capable, purposeful. That becomes magnetic in its own understated way. I've now introduced this to dozens of men in walking groups, churches, senior active clubs, and the stories echo mine. One retired veteran said, "I've slept through the night for the first time in 5 years." Another said, "My memory clarity at breakfast is incredible. I feel like I could lecture again." These testimonials aren't hyperbole. They're evidence of recovery in sleep cycles, circulation, and brain-body integration that had quietly declined. It's not an exaggeration. It's what happens when systems start working again. If you're watching and wondering whether this is right for you, I want you to feel empowered, not pressured. And as we close this conversation, know this: age isn't a sentence, it's a chapter. And feeling younger again, real, cellularly energized, mentally sharp, physically capable, that's not cheating time. It's attending deeply to the body you still have. A body that deserves flow, oxygen, healing, and clarity. That's why that one thoughtful spoon at night matters. It's a declaration. I still invest in my health. I still expect vitality. I still believe in purpose and presence. If you join this journey, you're among men fostering not just longevity, but life lived vibrantly. Now, as we wrap this up, here's the final thought. Waking up feeling 20 years younger isn't about turning back time. It's about turning on the systems inside you that still work, still heal, still regenerate, if you give them the signal. That one spoon is your signal. It whispers to your body, time to repair, time to flow, time to wake up. And when you answer that whisper night after night, weeks after weeks, the results compound. Men over 60, you've earned rest, rejuvenation, clarity, and strength. That spoon could be your next best investment. No gimmicks, no massive changes. Just one purposeful act before bed, and a morning that reminds you you still belong to a life of vitality. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this resonated, share your experience. Post a comment, connect in our community. Hit like if you found something useful here. Subscribe for more practical vitality tools, and turn on the bell so you don't miss new updates that help you live stronger, sharper, and more engaged each day. Until next time, may your nights be restful, your circulation strong, and your mornings feel lighter, clearer, and and more alive than ever. Sleep well and wake up feeling 20 years younger.